Hello my friends and welcome back to another video. Today is going to be my May TBR. Now May is going to be a very hectic, busy, crazy, fun month because I am participating in Escape the Readathon. I am a co-host. I am part of Team Partiers along with Cassidy, Michelle, and Katrina. I will have their channels linked down below, and of course Lexi, because Lexi, or Books with Lexi, created Escape the Readathon. This is going to be a very interactive readathon. I will explain it a little bit here. I'll also have the video linked down below so you can check it out. That way it's a little bit more in-depth than what I'm about to say. So I'm part of Team Partiers. Like I said, our group, we rented a house to come together, hang out, party, you know the drill, but we ended up in a haunted house and now we are trying to escape. This readathon is heavily mood reading based because what's gonna happen is we get to mood read pretty much as we're moving through the haunted house until we reach the door to move on to the next space. When we get to the door, to unlock it, we will be given 2 prompts. One of the prompts is actually a trick prompt, so we will have to pick one of the prompts, read a book that fits it. If it happens to be the trick prompt, we are going to have to go to the other prompt and read a book that fits that one to unlock the door and move on to the next area. So this is haunted house theme. Obviously we're in a haunted house. However, you can read any genre. The prompts are going to be very generic to the point that you can read fantasy, romance, whatever you want. It's not going to be a big deal. That way, most of the time we're going to be mood reading anyways, which is something that I typically do during the month anyways. I'm a big mood reader. So this is going to be a very interesting and very cool way to do a readathon. I think Lexi did a fantastic job. I'm so excited to be a co-host along with the other teams and of course Team Partiers, which if you haven't joined you should, because we're the best and we're gonna have so much fun. So I will have all the information for Escape the Readathon linked down below. That way if you haven't joined yet and you want to, all the information will be very easily accessible and you can check it out and find out more about it and see if you want to come hang out in a haunted house with us for the entire month of May. So because of the readathon, I don't have a very heavy TBR. I'm really going to try to see what happens this month. I mean, that's pretty much what I do all the time anyway. But some of these books I am definitely trying to make a priority, so I'm hoping that if they fit some of the prompts in Escape the Readathon, I can kind of slide them in, or you know, I can just obviously mood read at any other point. So we will see how this TBR goes for me. So the first book is actually my Patreon book club pick for May, and that is Katie by Michael McDowell. This is going to be a very interesting book to have for the book club pick. One, I have read a Michael McDowell before. It was Cold Moon Over Babylon. I wasn't the biggest fan of that one, which I know everyone really loves it, but it just wasn't really for me. I am hoping this one will be more of my speed because this is about a girl named Katie who has psychic abilities, but also uses a hammer to like smash people to bits, which definitely sounds interesting. It definitely sounds like it's gonna be gory and exciting, so I'm hoping that this will be a lot of fun and I can see us having a good discussion about this one. So very interesting pick for the book club, but I am very excited to finally see what everyone is talking about with Katie. Next is The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. This is probably going to be just like a really easy, quick thriller that I can pick up. I'm hoping that if I get into a slump at any point in the month, I really hope I don't, but it's gonna be a long month, and because of the readathon lasting the entire month of May, I am just a little worried that I could get slumpy at points. So I'm hoping something like this, which I've heard so many things about. Everyone's been talking about this book for like months at this point, that it's so good and just like a good popcorn thriller, and it's fast paced and just like a quick read. So that's what I'm really hoping for with this one, adding it to my TBR. But basically this is about a housemaid who has some secrets, and the family that she's working for also has some secrets, and that's all I really know. That's all I kind of want to know. Yeah, I'm kind of excited. I need a really good, silly, wild thriller because I just feel like the last few haven't been that good. And I'm just hoping that this one might help me out during the month if I need a little pick-me-up. So that's why this one is in my TBR. Next up, we have PTSD Radio Volume 2. I read Volume 1 in April, and oh my god, I'm obsessed. I loved Volume 1 so much. The artwork is so freaking creepy and unnerving, and I just ate it up. I loved it. Every second of it. I was just like, this is wild, this is crazy, I'm into it. So I cannot wait to read Volume 2. I'm so happy that I have Volume 2 and I didn't have to buy it and then wait for it. I'm glad that I had them together so I can just kind of like jump right into this one and not have to wait for it, because I think this one is going to be just as good and I'm so excited. Next we have an anticipated release of mine, and that is House of Cotton by Monica Brashears. I am so excited for this book. I haven't heard that much about it. I haven't seen a lot of people talking about it. I just haven't heard that much, but I think it sounds so good. This is about the main character, Magnolia, who is 19, and she's kind of struggling. She ends up getting approached by this stranger named Cotton, who gives her this opportunity, this modeling opportunity. And at first, everything is fine. However, his requests become weirder and weirder as time goes on. So I don't know much about this. I know that it's a social commentary, and I just think the whole like modeling job, the weird aspects, I just think this could be really, really good. It caught my eye the minute I read the synopsis. I mean, the cover is absolutely beautiful, which is why I ended up reading the synopsis, but the synopsis sounded so good that I ended up adding it to my anticipated releases list immediately. So I am very, very excited to own this one now and get a chance to read it, and I'm really hoping that I get to it in May, because I'm so intrigued. I really think it has the makings to be like a knockout, and I just can't wait to see what this is gonna be about. Like, I need to know. I'm so interested. The next 4 books are actually part of a collab video that I'm doing with Sav, or Riveting Reads, here on YouTube. We know I love Sav. Sav is one of my best friends. I think she is just so amazing. If you don't already subscribe to her, you should. But we have been talking about this video for a little bit now, and we decided to do it in May. But basically, we're gonna read the same 4 books in a reading vlog. One's going to be an adult horror, one's going to be an adult thriller, one's going to be a YA horror, and one's going to be a YA thriller. Now, I feel like some of you might not understand why this is like so interesting, but Sav and I have always talked about the fact that we really have similar opinions on books. However, recently we've noticed that that's not really the case. We've been disagreeing a little bit more and more, primarily with adult horror and adult thrillers. So that's why we're kind of doing this just as like a little test to see if this is actually true, like what our reading tastes really are compared to each other's. I just think it's going to be so funny, and I love Sav. Of course, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. She's the best. So let me tell you the 4 books that we are going to read. So for the adult thriller option, we are going to read The Butcher by Jennifer Hillier. I think you all know that I love Jennifer Hillier, so I'm actually really excited that we're doing one of her books, because I will be very interested in seeing what Sav thinks of Jennifer Hillier's writing. I know she's read one of her books previously, but I just want to see how she feels about Jennifer Hillier, you know? I don't know too much about this book, but I know it deals with a serial killer, and honestly, that's enough for me. I think that sells the book, because I love thrillers that deal with serial killers. They are so fascinating to me. So this one, I think, could be a very good thriller, in my opinion. The other 3 I actually don't own right this minute, so I will just pop up pictures of them on the screen for you. The YA thriller we are going to read is Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. McManus, which I have never read a book by this author before, and I'm really kind of just gonna go into this one blind. Sav told me that it is dark academia, which I know is really Sav's realm. Not really my realm, but it's her realm. But I'm hoping that this one will work out for me. I'm excited because I like trying new authors, especially for like YA thrillers, so we'll see. I'm gonna go in a little bit blind with this one. I'm just gonna take it and go with it and see what happens. For the adult horror, we are going to read Cotton Candy Massacre by Christopher Robertson. This is a slasher, which you all know is one of my favorite horror subgenres of all time, so I'm very excited about this one. I think Sav and I agree on slashers being one of our favorites in horror, so I will be very interested in seeing how we both feel about this one. I've heard a lot of good things about it. I don't know too much about it. Again, don't really care, gonna go in kind of blind because that just works best for me. Very excited to read a slasher because I haven't read one in a bit now, so I think this one could be good. And the last book in our collab video is going to be This Delicious Death by Kayla Cottingham. This book is a YA horror about cannibalism. It is one of my anticipated releases of the year, and I feel like this one could be the one that Sav and I agree on the most because we both read Kayla Cottingham's previous book, My Dearest Darkest, and we both really, really loved it. So I have a feeling this one could be the one we feel the most similarly on. I'm intrigued to see how a YA horror is going to handle cannibalism, so very excited. And I'm very excited for this collab video with Sav. I just think it's going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned for that coming sometime in May. Next is Delicious Monsters by Lizelle Sambury. So this one is one that I just recently hauled. I don't know much about this one. I said that in my haul as well. I bought this because the cover is absolutely stunning. It is so beautiful, but also I was hearing a lot of people talk about how good this one was, and for a YA horror, when I hear people saying a lot of good things about it, that makes me want to jump at the chance to read it because I really enjoy YA horror, but I feel like it gets kind of a bad rap, you know? Like, I feel like there are some not good ones out there, you know? There's some, you know, it's hit or miss sometimes, but when I hear that people are really enjoying a YA horror, I get very excited, and I know that I am going to buy it because, well, one, I'm a sucker and I buy books for no reason, but also just because I'm always excited to read a YA horror that is really, really good. I believe this has a character that can see dead people, and the character and their mother inherits a house or something like that. Again, not very familiar with the plot. I basically just bought it on a whim, but I really think this could be a lot of fun. I'm hoping it fits a prompt for Escape the Readathon. If not, I'll probably just mood read this one, but it's kind of a chunky one, so I don't know, but I have high hopes for this one. I have very, very high hopes. And the last book on this TBR is The Only Survivors by Megan Miranda. This book I also just recently hauled, and I know there are so many mixed reviews on Megan Miranda's work, but I kind of just want to give it a try for myself. I know I've read a Megan Miranda before in the past, but it's been years and I don't remember it. I really don't remember a single thing about the writing, the book, the plot, the twists, anything. This book was sent to me by Scribner Books and Dart Frog, so I am hoping that I do enjoy this one because I don't really like disliking books that were sent to me, but it does have a very interesting premise. This is about these students that like went into a ravine, and years later they kind of meet up for the anniversary to kind of just like check on each other, but something's different this time around, and like weird things are happening. I don't know too much. Again, gonna go in kind of blind because that's what I like to do a lot of times with thrillers and also with books that have a lot of mixed reviews. I feel like going in blind helps me remain unbiased because I try to be as unbiased as I can because it just makes reviewing a little bit easier for you all. So I am hoping that I enjoy this more than the average person. I am not super picky with my thrillers as long as they're twisty, entertaining, and can keep me from guessing too much because I don't like to guess the twist that early on, but as long as it can do a good amount of that, I think I will at least have fun with this one. So fingers crossed that I enjoy it more than everyone else, because I do know a lot of people haven't enjoyed this one, but I have hope that this could be an okay one for me, so I'm hopeful. Alright my friends, that is it for my May TBR. I tried to keep it as short as possible because, again, I don't really know what kind of mood I'm gonna be in for May. I don't really know how Escape the Readathon is gonna go. I'm gonna play it by ear and hope that these books actually do get read. Maybe they'll count for some prompts, I don't know, but I'm just gonna try to see how the month goes and let it take me on the journey and just kind of have fun and try not to stress too much about an actual TBR. So again, all the information about Escape the Readathon will be linked down below in case you want to join Team Partiers, because we're gonna win, obviously, so just in case you want to join Team Partiers. But yeah, let me know what's on your May TBR. If you are joining Escape the Readathon, let me know what team you are a part of. Team Partiers. And if you enjoyed this video, you enjoyed me talking about my TBR, give me a thumbs up. That way I know you enjoy TBRs and I can keep doing them in the future for you all. If you haven't already, feel free to subscribe to my channel. We can become friends and talk about books, horrifying books, thrilling books, romance books, manga, all that good fun stuff. And with that being said, I hope you are having a great day, night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!